Rahubat, so you want to know about the extraterrestrials, yeah? This seems to be a very popular topic at the moment. So yeah, we're going to dive in. So people want to know about, I mean, you hear things like UFOs, UAPs now, yeah? But if we used to say IFO instead of UFOs, because UFO is unidentified flying objects, yeah? But you're looking at it and identifying it. So obviously we change that to identified flying objects. That's what they should really be called. But over time, the term that most people are familiar with now is UAPs, which is unidentified aerial phenomena, right? So we're going to get into obviously extraterrestrials. We say extra, yeah, terrestrial, because we know that the word extra means additional or adding to. Terrestrial comes from the word terra or the word terrain, which deals with the planet Earth. In fact, one of the names for the planet Earth in ancient times was Terra. And the terrain deals with the terrain. And when you say opposite to terrestrial is really celestial, which deals with the heavens above, the sky, etc. So anything that's extra on the terrain or the planet Terra is known as extraterrestrial. So all of these terms and names is relating to the different beings and entities. So what we're going to cover today is the extraterrestrial species and how the people on the planet, how the races relate to these extraterrestrials. Now, what's actually interesting is that now that it's becoming a popular subject, everybody's jumping on it. But if you look at any books and scrolls that Parnabab Yanun, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. put out, he is the only person from the get-go that came saying, I'm an extraterrestrial from another planet called Risk, right? Planet Risk, spelt like this. And back then, everybody was like, you're crazy, ridicule, laughing. But look at all the posters. Every poster you ever see him with, you see a craft in the background. Look at this one, craft. Go back and look at all the books that he has actually put out. He will always have crafts or him coming down from a craft. And so, you know, there's a book put out called The Man from Planet Risk, yeah, which is now becoming The Man from Planet Risk. And this book is so popular, not only because it was talking about him being an extraterrestrial from the planet Risk, but he was giving out information about different extraterrestrials on the planet and how they've had an involvement with the government, etc., and giving out information about many projects that were going on at the time, which many people were unfamiliar with. But we're going to dive into the different species of extraterrestrials. We're going to start off with these, right? These are called the Deros, and their leader of the Deros is known as Yabahan. All right, Yabahan, that's him. Right, the Deros is a group of insane cave dwellers, and they were called the Sumerian, meaning the obese ones, or Samim, and the Abanderos, or as they are called today, Deros, which is a combination of the words detrimental and robots. That's where you get the word Deros from, because two parts, detrimental and robot. These Sumerian or Deros really exist. Their chief is known as Yabahan, as I mentioned before. The Sumerians are constantly in conflict with the group of beings called the Duanis, who hold the same belief that they too will take over the planet one of these days, right? The planet Earth. They are born by hatching from eggs that are 4 to 6 feet in diameter. Never before you're going to get such detail about these different extraterrestrial species here on the planet. All right, so they grow to 7 feet and are extremely obese. The Deros, who live in the caves, are degenerated so much that they don't have much intelligence. They have 2 stomachs and their digestive system is the same as that of a cow. Deros and cows both chew the curd, which means that when they eat, they chew their food and it goes through the initial stages of digestion where it reaches a large sac that is before the true stomach. The food is then regurgitated to the mouth for further chewing. This is called chewing the curd. The Deros have no fingernails, no toenails, nipples, navel or rectum. Their eyes are silver grey and they glow in the dark. They have blonde eyebrows and a pinkish grey colour skin, much like the corpse of a Caucasian and a pig, having not been exposed to the inner or outer sun. Other than their eyebrows, they have no hair on their bodies because of a disease called trichotillomania, not easy to pronounce, and are responsible for the disease known as trichinosis and trichiniasis. They have no teeth. Their mouth appears to be full of a gummy, slimy substance. They are nocturnal and hear extremely well. They're not very peaceful and have a strong dislike for human beings. They are very human in appearance, yet far from it. Their noses are long, trunk-like, which is very similar to that of an elephant. They contend that the planet Earth was theirs originally and will be theirs again one day. Many people today who are obese are descendants of the Deros. You know, you can see people that are very, very overweight. We're not talking about just the normal average weight, but people that are like, you know, have serious weight problems and weigh over 300 pounds and more. It is not normal for human beings. It is obviously a hereditary glandular problem and is caused by overactive glands. Certain endocrine glands disorders such as hyperthyroidism or tumors of the adrenal gland, pancreas, or pituitary gland can cause obesity. It is a trait of the Deros. They are from the Deros. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is the next extraterrestrial species known as the Teros, yeah, which is slightly different from the Deros. These are the Teros, and you know, that's Lamsa. All right, let's get into about the Teros. The Teros, which is short again from integrative or constructive, are a subsurface race that usually keep the Deros in check. The Teros were the original tribe of the Lunarians who came to this planet to dwell beneath the surface of the Earth. They are referred to as the Sunanans, meaning the yearly ones.